Okay, in this tape we're going to talk about knife fighting. We teach the SEAL team guys how to fight with the knife so that they're effective combatants with the knife, and they can also defend against the knife. Okay, in order to defend against the knife, you have to be a knife fighter yourself in order to understand what that knife fighter is going to do with the knife. Okay, in many of our combat situations, the knife is going to be called upon. If all goes bad and we lose our weapons, we always have our knife with us on what we call our first line gear, or our gear that's attached to our body, that's going to be on our belt and with us at all time. So the knife is an inherent part of our training. We get our knife fighting skills from the Filipino martial arts, as taught to me from Guru Dan Inosanto. So I think you're going to find these are effective skills for self-defense situations, especially in our day and time. You're going to find that on the street, some implement is going to come out, whether it be the knife or the stick or club or some kind of striking implement. So pay attention to this tape, and I think you'll learn something from it and definitely enhance your self-defense skills. Okay, the first thing we're going to discuss with the knife is angles of attack. Okay, it really doesn't matter if you hold a knife like this or you hold a knife like this. Usually, in a knife-to-knife situation, in the long range, you're going to have a little bit of an advantage with a knife in this grip here. You're going to have the element of distancing on your side. This way is okay too. This will, as we move on in the tape, you'll see how this will give you an advantage for some things, whereas this will give you an advantage for others. But the art should be cultivated in both grips. Okay, so the basic angles of attack, the first one is based off the figure eight pattern. So this is what we call downward figure eight, which could slash down diagonal here and then backhand diagonal here, forming the figure eight here. Slashing, 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 slashing. Okay, if the figure eight can go downward, it can also go upward. Slashing up, slashing up, slashing up this way. 1, 2, 1, 2. So you notice the figure eight pattern here. Okay, if I can go down, I can go up, I can go horizontal. Slashing midsection, or slashing high horizontally, or low horizontally. Slash, slash, slash. Curve, slash, the figure eight. Even though it's a flat figure eight, what we call horizontal figure eight. You'll notice that my rear hand is here at the ready, what we call the checking hand, is here at the ready, because this distance can close it at a split second, and this hand is going to become a very essential part of defending against his knife attack, or setting you up for your own knife attack. Okay, we have downward, we have upward, we have horizontal, and now we have the diagonal figure eight pattern. Slashing downward and slashing back up. Downward, slashing back up. Downward, slashing back up. And you see the figure eight pattern, because if you had just a single-edged blade, you have to turn your wrist, slashing back up, turn your wrist, slashing back down. 1, 2. And then you have the diagonal the other way, slashing from the left side of the body, upward on the right-hand side of the body. Okay, and once you get these basics down, you can mix them up. Downward, upward, horizontal, diagonal, diagonal, from right to left, and then mix them up. I may start downward, go into horizontal, into upward, into diagonal, and then you can just mix it up. Okay, now, we can also, instead of slashing, we can thrust. Okay, so very common, we can thrust this angle here, thrust the backhand angle here. thrust to the body, thrust back to the body, thrust upward here, thrust upward here, thrust downward to come back up diagonally, thrusting here, thrusting back down. You can mix this up. Every thrust can be followed by a slash. You can thrust, follow with a slash. The thrust might go hit your target, and you may slash to pull out. Your thrust may target, slash to pull out. You can thrust low, slashing out again. Thrust low, slashing out again. Or thrust high, slashing either high, or thrust high, slashing low. This side, thrust high, slashing high, thrust high, slashing low. Okay? From here, when I thrust, sometimes you can pull it through, slash back from this side. If I pull it through, slash back from this side. Again, thrusting from forehand side, then slash backhand side. Or I can thrust through with the backhand to slash, thrust, slash, thrust, slash, thrust, slash. Okay, so you can mix all these up. You can mix up the regular slashing motion with the thrusting motion at any time. Thrust, slash, thrust through, slash, thrust, slash. You notice sometimes when I thrust from the forehand side, I slash from the forehand side. I thrust from the backhand side, I come back around to slash from the backhand side. Or sometimes I thrust from the forehand side, slash from the backhand side, meaning thrust through from one side, slash back from the other. Okay, again, thrust and slash from the same side, thrust, slash from the same side, or thrust through, slash from the opposite side. Thrust through, slash from the opposite side. Now the thrust can also go straight into the body here. Okay, a lot of times this hand will come forward and thrust in. Or maybe just quick thrust from the forehand side like that. Sometimes when we thrust from here, we pull it back here so that we can thrust through on this side. This could be one to thrust like that. And maybe I slash out to thrust here, back here again. Or sometimes I thrust through here to come on this side to slash out. Thrust here to come on the forehand side. Or sometimes we thrust to thrust the backhand, come around to thrust to the forehand side, then slash out. And you'll see there's really no magic numbering system with the knife. It is basically built upon either slashing motions, figure eight, or incorporating the thrust with the slash, or thrust to thrust, or thrust to thrust. Okay, to demonstrate the angles of attack on my partner, just so that you can see where the motions are, where we attack the body. The slashing motion can go to the neck here like that, or to the neck. Now you'll notice that this can already be, even though it's a downward motion, I can slash here to the body, or slash to the major arteries here on the legs, or all the way down here to the low position, where a lot of times we'll find ourselves. Depending on the terrain, we may not be able to stand it all, maybe mud. So a lot of times we will be down here like this. Okay? So this is downward figure eight motion. Same thing with the upward figure eight. The upward figure eight can go to the body, or the upward figure eight can go up top to the neck area or face area. Okay? And then again, down low area, slashing the major arteries here, the legs or the hips. Okay. The horizontal slashing motion, again, either high line, middle line, or the low line. Like this. either one knee over the other, or just crouching motion like that. Diagonal will send you from the forehand side here, and then slash back up. Forehand side, slashing back up. Or from this side, I could slash this way to that way. Again, so I attack the upper portion of the body here to the lower portion of the body. Or this may be from the middle body to the upper body. Middle to upper. Or middle to upper on this side. Okay, and we're just doing this stationary right now. Very often you'll see how this same motion can be applied from the front side of the body to the back side of the body. Okay, but first you have to understand the angles of attack and learn how to be fluid with the knife, okay, so that you're able to slash and thrust effectively. Okay. Now, with the thrust can poke from this side. Tack. You can poke, and maybe sometimes the knife will stick there. You slash out. So you could poke from here to slash out. You could poke to slash this side, poke this high line, or thrust high to slash low, thrust high to slash low. Maybe you thrust it into the body here, and you want to slash high. Thrust into the body, slash high. Or thrust to slash. Thrust to slash. Again, keeping this hand here. Okay? Now, you can thrust, which may go through, or may go through on the forehand side, to slash back on the backhand side. Again, the thrust goes through to the backhand side, slash. Or you may thrust through on the backhand side, slashing on the forehand side. Thrust through any target area, slash on the forehand side. Okay, so this is your basic target areas, how the slash is used, how the thrust is used, and from here we'll go on to our next segment. Okay, now that we understand some of the different angles of attack that the weapon can come, now we'll start talking about how to defend against those angles of attack. Okay, the first basic that we talk about is meeting the force, or slashing the slash with the slash ourselves. So if he slashes at my target area here, remember, hand-to-hand combat is a matter of fluidity, it's a matter of motion. So we're going to handle this situation first in long range, where we have the range to move back, where my back isn't against the wall. Okay, I have the range to move back. So you constantly want to keep yourself in the range that if he slashes to me, he cannot hit me, but I can slash his arm or his bicep or get a piece of him, or in Filipino martial arts what they call defang the snake. If this is the fang of the snake, we're gonna take that fang, rendering the snake harmless. Okay? So number one, we will meet the number one with the number one. This is very simple. Okay? Slashing here. Okay, but from there he could follow up with any of the patterns that we've talked about. Downward figure eight. This one may come up. This one might come horizontal. This may come down. This one may be followed by the thrust. It doesn't matter. I just want to give you the basic concept, and then you can cultivate it on your own. So from the number one here, okay. However he comes, you slash it here like this. And right now we're doing a stationary motion. If he thrusts, now you notice on the lower counts here, if he thrusts here, any thrust that may come either from the forehand side, the middle, or the backhand side, you slash from the top position. Okay? If it's a high thrust to the neck area, you can angle your body out and slash from the lower position. But right now we'll talk about a thrust to the body. Slashing on the top. And you notice if he goes horizontal to my body here, I slash on top. Whereas if he comes up top, I will meet the force with a slash here, like that. Okay? This is stationary training. Okay? And maybe he mixes it up a little bit. Stationary training. Meeting the force. Now, if the person advances towards you, obviously, this is a common situation. He's going to come at you with the thrust. You're going to have to keep this distance if you can. Okay, this will probably afford you with the best protection. Okay? Because once you get inside, and now, we're both here, a lot of things happen very fast. So at best, especially if this is just for basic training, which we teach our SEAL team guys, we're going to teach them to evade when it comes in, to back out. And as we back out, or put the step and slide footwork in, we're going to meet the force or slash, or inflict pain on the very first beat. Okay, we're inflicting our offense while we're defending ourselves. So we step back, staying out of the range. Okay, again. So your partner can step and slide forward, and I can step and slide back. This is one method. Again, he is moving towards you, whether that's with a step and slide or whether that's running, and you're going to have to keep the distance. Remember, he can't cut you. You want to be able to cut him, and we're going to keep that distance with our footwork. Okay, same footwork. That's why we start with the boxing in the beginning and the Thai boxing, to bring out that elusiveness, that footwork, okay, that speed, that agility. It's all part of the equation, especially with the knife. Okay, again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and you'll see how that will be applied to any thrust, any slash, any attacking motion. Keeping the distance, meeting the force. Now, say on any slash, we'll take the forehand slash here to the neck. I can meet that with the same angle. Or I can meet it more horizontally, or I can meet it upward. Okay? As long as I'm meeting the force, I may slash it downward, I may slash horizontal, I may slash upward. But in any regards, it is meeting the force. Okay? What we call meet the force. Now, the next thing, which will show stationary first, is following the force. So maybe for some reason, maybe I slashed at him and my hand's on this side and he slashes at me. I will then slash from the backhand side, or what we refer to as follow the force. Okay, again, my knife is on this side. Follow the force. 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 Again, opposite from the meet, which is meeting the force, we will now follow the force. 1, 2. And you'll notice now we put the footwork in with it. Okay? Staying in that long range. Keeping that safe zone. Okay, and you see how we put the footwork in. If he's coming forward, we regress back. And then from this position here, you can freelance it. Okay, sometimes you can just you can work this stationary, or you can work it, which is more realistic, on the move. But for the camera's sake, we'll kind of stay stationary here. So from the angle 1, I may meet it here like that. 2, and you can just kind of freelance it like that. Maybe I meet the force here. But right now I'm practicing that long range. See, I meet the force here, meet it here like that. But maybe I follow the force here, follow the force here. But I meet the force here, meet the force here. I might follow the force here, I might follow it here. I might meet that one, meet the force here. Meet the force, maybe I follow the force. You may miss one, and that's okay too. Maybe he slashes at you and you miss this one, but then you get that one. Okay? All right. Now, let's talk about the follow-ups. Okay, for this basic tape, we're just going to keep the follow-ups basics, things that can be learned quickly and you can adapt to your own training very easily. Okay. Now, after the meeting of the force, remember, the evading technique is the footwork. This is now inflicting the damage as we evade. Okay. And there is a lot of footwork in the Filipino martial arts, but right now this tape is following the same curriculum that was taught in the military to the Navy SEAL team. So I'm going to keep it like that and then maybe get advanced at a later point. So from here, now, if I evade and I slash and I get the desired result, I get a good cut on the arm, we can follow this up, the first basic, with the thrust. Okay, again, one, thrust into the body or to the face. So if we take the next angle of attack, this could be thrust here. Again, evade, go back in. Evade, go back in. This could be to the neck, to the eye, to the body. Out, back. Out, 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 out. Okay? So this is putting together our defense and our first offense, which will be a thrust, either from the backhand side or from the forehand side. Right. Now, next one, if I meet the force, one, slash, I will go in now and slash with a downward 8 myself, okay, or with a figure 8 slashing motion. Strikes. 2 strikes. We'll keep downward motion right now. Downward motion. Downward motion. Change the target area. 1, 2. 1, 2. Or both high. Or one high, one low. Or one low, one high. Okay? This could be low, high. This can be high, low. Again, all high, all low, high, low, low, high. Okay, that's the downward figure 8. With the same concept of defense, we meet the force, we can horizontally defend. Again, one, neck area. Okay, again, one, neck area. So if we follow along in the drill, it could be any angle of attack. You notice how we change it up. Use your imagination. Maybe this is to the body. Okay, that's horizontal. Now, this could be upward as well. One, maybe the upward slash. Maybe I feel more comfortable. Maybe this is like that. Okay, so work in the upward. Okay, you have your diagonal motions. See where my weapon is down here. So I slash up and then down. Maybe at this point, my weapon's down here, up and down. Pack. Maybe this time it's more up here, down, up. My weapon's up here, down, up. Evade, go in. Evade and go in on either lateral side. So you have the thrust, one, first basic, thrust or thrust. Second basic, slash to a downward figure 8, slash to a downward figure 8. Next basic, slash to horizontal figure 8, horizontal figure 8, or diagonal figure 8, diagonal figure 8. And remember, you can change the direction or change the path. It can be high. This strike might be low. On the upward, I might go low here first, then high. The diagonal, this one might be high, this one might be low, or this one might be low, that might be high. Okay? So work with this, become comfortable with these defenses, and we'll continue on from there. Okay, now we're going to close the range a little bit and talk about close range. Now at close range, his weapon can slash you and you can slash him. This is what we call close range, where you remember the long range was that you could slash him and he could not slash you. Okay, you keep your body out of the way here. Okay, now, from this position, we have to involve the checking hand, okay, or what we call the checking hand in Filipino martial arts. Okay, from the number one angle here, now this hand is going to pass. This is what we call pass. Okay, so from the same time I pass, I thrust. Okay, one. You notice how I cheat myself this way a little bit. Because the key to it, without getting very involved in the footwork, is not standing right here. Okay, you want to try to zone out to an area that you're safer at. Okay, you see from this position, once I slash, you can thrust and follow up in any way. But right now, we're going to learn how to just what we call pass. Okay, so when we pass, we slash at the same time. Even though we defend, we slash. Okay, now this slash can already go to the body or to the bicep. Okay, depending on how he does. If it's tight, I can go anywhere from here to here to here to here. Okay, this could be knuckle, this could be forearm, this could be bicep or in here, or this could be chest or neck or face. But it's a scissors motion or passing motion. Okay, now from this position number one, remember you can either angle yourself back or you can angle yourself to the side. You have to make the effort to angle away from dead center. Okay, again, one. Now, say he's going to attack from the backhand. We'll just take right now an upward slashing motion from the if he went down, maybe he'll come back up. Okay, and you can use this progression for yourself for training. But after we talk about this one feed, the one we're going to go like this and slash upward, and then upward to downward. You can free yourself from that and kind of freelance from that point on. But from right now, I'll give you a pattern. Now, he'll slash upward here, and you'll see how I turn my body so that I want to face this a little bit more. Okay, because if not, he's going to slash here, and I'm going to try to be involve my arms, but my body's facing this way, so I turn my body. So from this position one, I turn. So you notice this hand now is going to pass, but it will also impede the progress of the knife. Okay, and so that I can pass through and slash. Again, one. So from here, now try to keep your hand down here, because if he pulls out, you'll cut the back of your arm and not the forehand side of your arm. Okay, where all the tendons and arteries are. So one, two. I impede the progress here, and I send that out. And you can follow up from there. Again, one. Turn your body. Again, you could think of this like open to close, closed to open. Again, one. Turning the body, two. Again, one, two. Now, this is stationary. This can also be on the move, but right now we're going to talk about it stationary. So we get the hand motion correct, and then we'll talk about moving, putting it on the move. Number one, pass. Number two, turn, face, and slash. Okay, now let's say he's going to either go upward or to the body here. This hand will pass, and this hand, again, will slash. And the target area can be yours to choose from. This could be here, this could be here, this could be here, or this could be to the face or neck. But again, a scissors motion. Again, scissors motion. Any follow-up from there. So after this motion here, maybe he comes to the body here. We'll take it like this. 1, 2, 3. And then if he comes from here, I want you to go with the knife first. You notice from the 3, or from what we refer to in this feeding pattern as the number 3, this will be number 4. Slash with the knife first. And then you pass that one out there. Again, to be able to go with any follow-up you want. So from the beginning, we slash here, or open to close. And again, close to open. open to close, any target area. And from this one, though, you put the knife here first so that you can get a cut and then pass it by. Again, from the top. 1, 2, 3, knife first. 4. Okay. Now, after the 4, see, from this position now, he will thrust. Again, you pass it by, just like we handled the number 3 here in this feeding pattern. Okay, again, this is just a feeding pattern that once you learn can be discarded and you can free flow from there. So from the top, 1, I pass. 2, you see how I involve my body, turn it. I'm smart about it. You want to face it, slash it here. Hollow your body out on this one. Get your body out of the way, but so that you can use your arms. Knife first, and then on the slash, hollow your body out. Notice how I step back with this rear foot, what we refer to it as a lateral triangle, because it's just the lateral side of the triangle. I just move one foot. That's another way of evade. I can evade with step and slide, or I can evade with what we call lateral triangle, to where I slash and then I come back in for my counter again. So 1, maybe I evade here. Maybe I use the lateral triangle here. Maybe I use it again. Maybe I just turn my body on this one. And then maybe I use the lateral triangle here. So you'll feel it. Okay, more importantly right now is you just stay in the middle range and you put your body in a position that you're prepared for that angle of attack. Okay, right now, I just want you to get the feel for it. Okay, more emphasizing the hand motion right now. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and we'll take it up to there. Now, from after the 5, maybe the 6 is here like that. So if it's a horizontal motion after the 5, the 6 again was handled very similar to the number 2. Take it out like that, and then the 7 is handled just like the 3. Okay, again from the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then this could be a thrust here like that. Now on a thrusting motion here, you could take it one of 2 ways, just like the angle 4. You see how my hand cuts in, or you can go on the back side of the hand and then scissors out like that. Again, 1, or hit like that. So from the top, slash, 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 slash. Okay. Slash, 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 slash. Okay. Now, once you train that and you become comfortable with that, we'll start adding the counters. The first counter, when I slash, you add the thrust. The first counter, when I slash, you add the thrust. Thrust can go to the face, can go to the back of the body here, the kidney area, or the face. And then from here, you can add that element to every one. see I swing it out. Again, from the top, adding this thrust. Thrust it. Thrust. 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 Again, from the top, adding this thrust. 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 Okay, next basic. After the slashing motion here, 1, you can add any of your elements that we talked about already. So the first one being the downward 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's a downward 8. Now, next one, upward 8. So number 1, slash, 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 and the 5. We'll just take it up to the 5 with these options. Okay, horizontal 8, number 1, slashing horizontally, slashing horizontally, slashing horizontally, slashing horizontally, slashing horizontally. Next one, diagonal. Number 1, you pass here, diagonal, 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 diagonal. Okay? And then you can, maybe from the number 1, I thrust into downward 8. So you see how we mix it up from there. And it doesn't have to be thrust to downward 8. You can go thrust to horizontal. You can go diagonal to thrust. You can mix it up between the thrusting and the slashing motions. But the most important element here is that your hand provides safety by passing. Because remember, you're in the range now to where he can cut you. Okay? What we refer to as middle or close range. Again, 1. This is the root motion. Okay? Okay, go ahead and work on that. Okay, now what we're going to work on is more close range material. And what we're going to do is we're just going to take different defenses off angle 1, or what we call angle 1, or a forehand slash here like this. And this could be either thrusting or a regular slash. Now, from this, because the Filipino martial arts and the material that we teach is so vast that I'll just give it to you off the number 1, and then what you can do is take it and work it off all your different angles, all the different slashing motions and thrusting motions. But if you understand the angle 1, you'll be in a good position to work on this on your own and work on the different angles of attack. Okay? Now, from the angle 1, the first thing that we're going to work on is the slashing motion, or the thrust, or the scissors motion. So from here, I slash like this, and maybe I pull through to this side, and my partner does the same thing. Maybe we slash like that. So this is the scissors motion right now, and we're training in a drill that we call 1 for 1, meaning he feeds me 1, and then I feed him 1. And you notice this could be anything, like my partner did a thrust here. Okay, but right now, we just take a 1 for 1. Okay. Okay, now, Sometimes what happens, instead of the left hand being on the outside, the left hand starts on the inside first. So you see at the same time that he slashes, I impede the progress here, and I thrust at the same time. And then from my left hand being on the inside here, I can slash through this way and then take it out like that. So you see my partner will block and thrust, and then pass here like that to thrust through. And then angle one. Block first, take it through, and thrust. Slash this side so that he can block and thrust, passing, and cutting on the inside of the arm. Again, 1, 2, hit, slash. He, again, thrust at the same time as shielding. The same time I block is the same time I thrust. This could be here, could be here, could be here. And when I slash it, I pass across, thrust, slash. My partner will do the same. Slash through. Okay, so far we have the hand being on the outside, my left hand being on the outside, my left hand being on the inside. Okay, now the right hand. Say my right hand, my left hand didn't have any time to get there, and my right hand is the first one to get involved. We will circle on the inside and thrust here like that, and then you'll see how my partner will scoop it on the inside and thrust here like that. Scooping on the inside, thrust through. Scooping on the inside, thrust through. Scooping on the inside, thrust. Scooping on the inside and thrust. And just like I said in the beginning, if this, no matter what the angle is, you can work on this same basic, meaning right hand on the inside of it, here like that. Okay, or right hand might be on the inside of the number 1. Okay. That drill one more time. On the inside. If it's close and you get a slash, that's fine. But this redirects, hollow your body out, thrusting in here like that. Checking hand, make sure this hand stays to the same side, and then you let your partner circle, thrust, taking it out. Thrust, taking it out like that. Thrust, taking it out. Thrust. Okay, now, next basic. From the right hand being here on the inside, we'll say the right hand is now on the outside for whatever reason. Again, maybe I slashed first and I missed and he comes in there. It's going to be the same motion, but from the outside. Again, taking it and thrusting inward one more time. So maybe on this side, it redirects a small circle and thrusts in. Again, thrust inside. Okay. Now to make it a flow drill or angle 1 for 1 with my partner, take the knife out, and I want to maintain this position, okay? Because for real, from here, the thrust back, you want to try to maintain that arm. Okay, you want to keep it in the closed position from this here. We already know that you can disarm, or you can just simply go in for a more fatal technique. Okay, so we'll do this with each other. Meaning the right hand is on the outside. 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 You're going to have to feel your footwork. Okay, now, we have techniques now. Just the basics for left hand being inside, left hand being outside, the right hand being inside, and the right hand being outside. Okay. Sometimes the left hand is on the inside, but it will give way to the outside. Okay. This is like a circular motion. Maybe the weapon was too strong or the force is too much. You roll it here like that. But you notice how my elbow is down here to impede the progress for the low shot as well. So this may be 1 and then 2. Again, now you're going to roll, pack, thrust. This, anytime you can get this, land this at the same time here, this cover and hit motion, do so. Roll, pack. There we go. So we cover and hit, and it's too powerful, so we roll to this side, but we monitor it so that this can be thrust here like that. Roll. Roll. Okay, so that's the left hand being in, but roll to the outside. Okay, from here, the left hand may impede. Okay, the right hand will stick at the same time, or what we call refer to as cover and hit. And then the right hand will take over, thrusting here, maintaining the hand, and then we go back to the basic for your partner. 1, roll, thrust. Maintain the hand on the way out. 1, you know, move my body here. 1, right hand takes over. Hit, pull out. Left hand, cover and hit, scoops with the right hand. Left hand, cover and hit, right hand, scoop out, take out here. Left hand, cover and hit, right will scoop out. Okay, now if the left hand, when we cover and hit on this motion here, if the right hand will take over from the inside, we also can have the right hand take over from the outside. I mean, maybe I didn't score this one here, but I just blocked, and then the right hand will take over. Okay, so you impeding with the left, and then the right goes in first. You see, left, the right hand takes over from the back side. Block, right hand takes over from the back side. In this method of training, we're going 1 for 1. Again, maintaining this here because later on we can go into the disarms from here. Okay? Always want to maintain that hand. So again, left hand will be the first one to make contact, but then the right takes over from the outside. Left makes the contact, right takes over from the outside. You'll notice how the forearm is bent. Maintain the center line here, okay, to control the center line. We go back out like that from the outside. Last one, 1. And we take it like that. Okay, now what we're going to do is take those options and put them in a flow drill, meaning that off of the number 1 strike, we're going to perform all those different options or defenses, and then on the number 2, your partner's going to slash with the number 2. We will take just one common defense, which in this case, let's use the slash and pass. Okay, so the feed is just going to be 1 to 2. Your partner will feed forehand slash and backhand slash. Now we're only going to do these off of the angle 1, and then it'll be up to you to take all these different options and work with them off all your different angles of attack. Okay, but we'll just show them to you off the angle 1, and then you can make up your own flow drills and work off all your angles of attack. Okay, number 1. We'll take the first one with the inside slash first. Okay, so when the strike comes here, I slash the arm, check it, thrust, and then pass it on by. You work on this one. Okay, so this is getting a piece of the arm first with the knife as I slash, and then I pass it. And you notice when I pass this by, I get a piece of the action here like that. 1. See, I can pass by like that. So if this was for real, you could go in and end it from there. But from here, 1, 2. But we will just educate the line like that. 2. See? 2. 1. Now, the next one we'll do is sometimes the left arm goes first. When the left arm goes first, the right arm will shoot in, or what we refer to as cover and hit. This is 1. Then I pass it by, and then I handle the number 2. Now again, number 2 is the common denominator. I handle this 1 same way each time. Okay. Cover and hit, slash, cover and hit, slash, cover and hit, slash, cover and hit. Okay, now the next one. From here, what we're going to do is what we call the scissors motion. Again, slashing and thrusting, and we go back to this position. Slash, slash, and pass. So you pass this motion, again, just like the flow drill in the beginning. Slash, hit, slash, hit, slash, thrust. Okay, now, sometimes when he slashes at me, the left hand will be inside here, but sometimes it's outside. And if it's a thrust, sometimes it just scoop by like that. See how I step myself back? Maybe this was not in a position to defend, and I just scoop myself back. Scoop myself back. So we'll work on that one. 1, and then he can flow from there. Defend, slash. He's going to try to hit you in the neck. 1. We make the flow drill out of it. Move out, defend. 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 Okay. Now the next one that we're going to work on. If the left hand does start from the inside, it may roll to the outside, and you may still thrust here, and then you handle the number 2 strike as the common denominator. Anytime you can get the cover and hit in here, or you get the hit, go ahead and do that. You could thrust it here like that, and then take it again. So this could be one thrust here. When they pass, this could be here, or it could be here or here. Again, 1. Rolls, depending where the window is where the thrust comes in. Working again on the common denominator here. This is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. Now the next one. The left hand can roll, but sometimes the left hand will impede, but the right hand will take over from the inside. And then we go with it. See? 1, 2, take over. See? This makes the initial stop, but the right hand picks it up, and we go back here. 1, roll, take it here like this. Educating you to the different lines of attack and keeping you in flow, okay? Because again, especially in a knife fight, it's going to be a matter of motion and movement, okay? No one is just going to hold the knife out there for you, okay, to perform your techniques. Okay, if the right hand were to go from the inside, again, left may impede first, but the right may go in from the outside. Okay, again, 1, 2, and then we take it in flow. Hit. 1, back to it, like that. 1, back to it. 1, back to it. 1, back to it. Okay, now, the next one, maybe the left hand didn't impede at all, but the right hand went first. Okay, so maybe the right hand will meet, and we roll around and thrust here. And take the option. If I can get a piece of the face or the bicep as I roll, that's my advantage. 1, 2. Cutting in, keeping the forearm bent again to occupy that center line. Okay. 1. Forearm is bent, thrust, back. 1. Being well aware of where that knife is and how to zone your body away from getting slashed. Okay. Now, the right hand is the first one that picks it up, but not from the inside, but from the outside. So possibly from the outside. You take it into your flow drill. Pick it up from the outside. Picking it up from the outside, circling. Again, keep the arm bent to occupy the center line. Back into it from here. Okay. And then what you do is you could free flow it. Okay, just at your own leisure, take any one that you want. You can mix them up. My right hand goes inside like that. Maybe my left hand goes in, but my right hand follows. Okay, so you can mix them up. And we're not really talking about disarming or anything like that or finishing off moves. I just want to educate you the different angles of attack and how you can deal with them effectively. So let's go ahead and work on that, and good luck with your training. Okay, in conclusion, these are just some of the basic techniques that will give you a sound foundation in knife fighting. Train with these, cultivate the basics. I think you're going to find that you will have a very easy to learn, effective base that will be easy to remember when it comes down to the real thing. Good luck.